Yep. Tying it all up. And Paladin Druid remaining for Zalae, and Mage Shaman remaining for Leadpaint. That's Temple Mage and Aggro Shaman. So both of those, well, I don't know. Aggro Shaman against Druid is sort of hit or miss. You can get the nuts early with minions and just blow them out, but Druid also has some tools to fight back, and sometimes they can even race. So definitely have to see. It's going to depend on these matchups. I'd imagine Zalae would try and, I don't know. It's tough. It's basically like a best of 3 with 2 decks each.
If I was in this spot, I would want if I was in Zalae's spot here, I'd want my Druid to line up against the Shaman.
Yeah.
And I think this way, this favors Leadpaint now. Like in the end, if both players are queuing up their decks at random, it doesn't matter. Which is, I think, what they should be doing at this point, because they're so massively favored one way or the other. I think.
Yeah.
You think of the aggro shaman matchup, you're like, oh well, this just beats Druid, right? Druid loses to the quick decks. But if Druid kind of has their disruption early on, and they get to the late game and they're in all in a reasonable position, their threats are just so much larger than the shamans are. In my experience, I've played a lot of both of those decks. On the shaman side, I'm always uncomfortable versus Druid. On the Druid side, I'm always very comfortable versus shaman.
Yeah. And now, if Leadpaint wins this one, I mean, he's got to win against either Secret Paladin or Druid with a Tempo Mage, which Tempo Mage does well against both of those. So I think he's got to be feeling pretty confident moving in after seeing these deck choices from this game, like you said.
Yeah. So I'm even going to keep Sludge Belcher's opening hand, and I don't mind it in this matchup. One of the ways I found I have trouble with Aggro Shaman in this matchup is when my opponent just kind of plays really good stuff on curve and then has the Sludge Belcher leading into a big threat. So I really like this keep from Zalae. But Leadpaint, faced with 3 very good options on the first one, is going to favor the Druid hero power here. Oh, that's a good draw from Zalae.
Yeah. I really like the Druid hero power over the life tap in this situation, because a lot of times you don't have room to life tap, it feels. So you're just sort of taking the Druid hero power to 1, in an emergency fight back on the board if you have no other play, and 2, for that Doomhammer later in the game, just to make it extra reach. Because life tap not interacting with the board can sometimes come back to bite you in a matchup where it's all about the board in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're overloading with so many of your cards, that puts a lot of pressure on your mana. Like, where normally you'd be able to squeeze in a life tap, instead you're overloaded for 2. So I think I would tend to agree with the Druid hero power here as well. Good opening for Leadpaint, though. I mean, Finley into Haunted Creeper means his board is a little bit more stable than Zalae was hoping, I imagine.
Yeah.
But with Secret Keeper Revenge here, I think his turn 2 is still looking totally fine for him.
Yeah, especially with Konghammer, because sometimes you can get in a situation where Revenge just doesn't matter, because the Shaman is just going to ignore and go face regardless. But Konghammer forces the Avenge to be procced, be used. So it's a great draw. It also just makes so many attacks have to go into whatever you choose to Konghammer, and it also makes you able to make conscious choices as to what to trade into. So that might be a little bit of a change. Actually, okay, he's going to go ahead and remove the Secret Keeper. I guess it's just a little bit too big of a threat.
Yeah, I think with the Tunnel Trawl coupled with this, he feels very comfortable doing this, and Konghammer is just going to really heavily disrupt this at this point. God, what a great turn for Zalae.
He's only taken 3 damage also. There hasn't been that crazy draw like the Tunnel Trog into coin Feral Spirits, or even just like Tunnel Trog into Knife Juggler into Feral Spirits. There wasn't a crazy draw. It was a decent opening for Leadpaint, but sometimes decent openings aren't enough, and we'll see if Zalae can keep pushing and hold on to this board. Ooh, Flame Tongue Totem.
That's a good one. Yeah, but gosh, the trade here looks so appealing too. Is this a spot where Leadpaint has to continue to fight the board position? And that's really the power that Haunted Creeper can provide in these spots, is that it keeps your opponent on sort of a back foot. Wow, and Zalae even has options for this turn.
Options being Knife Juggler plus Shielded Minibot or Powder Shredder. Knife Juggler plus Shielded Minibot means that he'll have 5 total damage. So it means that he might get some cleaner clears onto the board if he gets like a juggle to hit the 1/1 or even a juggle to hit the Flame Tongue Totem. There's 3 out of 5 outcomes that I think are good.
Zalae also has the option to just take 3 damage this turn and kill off the rest of the board presence and isolate the Flame Tongue Totem, which I have found to be very effective versus Aggro Shaman. Is just rather than killing the Flame Tongue, is isolating the Flame Tongue.
Yeah. You get punished by a few things. Feral Spirits being one of them. And also, I guess Argent Horse Rider, but...
Oh, misses the juggle. And is that a missed attack as well? Zalae passed before he attacked with the second Haunter Creeper token, didn't he? Oh, no, he used it into the Flame Tongue Totem. My apologies. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, this can't be right.
Yeah, usually he would show some emotion on his face if that were the case, but he's just like, This belch is going to do a lot of work, though, I feel.
Yeah, Leadpaint's still kind of tiptoeing around this one. I feel like this is starting to swing a little bit in Zalae's favor. And the fact that the Lava Burst is going to have to come out to take care of the Sludge Belcher. Zalae's just too high, I think, for Leadpaint to really think about the burn plan at this point. And I think that's what he's thinking about this turn as well. You know, if he forces through 5 points of damage, he has 5 in hand, and he would need to, if Zalae doesn't have Sludge Belcher, he would need to draw 10 points of burn. So what is the likelihood of that? This is kind of interesting play as well. So Finley's going to clear off the Haunted Creeper token here, and that 2 is just going to go to face. Ooh.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher with a Mysterious Challenger to back it up. It's usually lights out for the Aggro Shaman, because missing attacks, unless they draw into absurd amounts of burn, in like those turns leading up to it, a lot of times they're not going to be able to get through that much damage.
So Zalae going to take his time here as well. Wants to figure out, is there any way I can lose this game from this spot?
Yeah. There's a couple ways.
A couple crackles for 6 and do it.
Yeah. Lava Burst into Runner, crackles for 6. Plus 1 more damage to the face. That's lethal.
Yeah, the Coghammer looking like he's going to take that damage too. I wonder if he's thinking about that. I wonder if Zalae's quite literally thinking about, well, if he rips 2 crackles, I can actually still live through 2 crackles.
Yeah.
In the right situation. Like if he just plays Sludge Belcher and attacks the 1/1 here, with the I mean, I wouldn't keep my life total preserved here, personally. Yeah, but he's not going to. And this is tough for Leadpaint. If he wants to kill the Sludge Belcher and get through it this turn, it takes basically his entire turn.
It takes his entire turn, and it also takes, you know, a 5 damage burst spell that he would love to point at the face instead. And then he knows that, hey, we're going into turn 6. Mysterious Challenger is probably going to come out. Then what do? I have an empty board. I'm overloaded for 2 on turn 7. What am I going to do with 5 mana against a Mysterious Challenger and a Shielded Minibot? Nothing. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, this one I think this one's pretty much done. And that's why Zalae kept the Sludge Belcher here. Forcing Lava Burst from the Shaman, if you disrupt their early game strong enough, it is lights out.
Yeah. And Zalae, a player that takes his time in his turns, he even knows what the play is on that turn. You slam that Mysterious Challenger. You end that turn.
There's that first crackle. Maybe we could have gotten there.
Yeah. I still think I think that's the play. You point. You just hope. You point the crackle at the face and you pray.
Oh, I feel so bad.
What else are you gonna do?
What's he gonna? He needs to draw like Ancestral Knowledge into like 2 burn spells. I mean, I think you're right. It just feels dumb.
He overloads this turn for 1. So next turn he goes in with 7 mana. That's enough mana for Ancestral Knowledge, Lava Burst, and a second crackle.
We're reaching deep on this one.
He only needs to crackle for 5 this turn. If he's confident that his other crackle that he'll draw in the next turn will overload for 6, or will hit for 6.
Yeah, ooh.
Now he has 0 outs.
That feels so bad.
Yeah.
Zalae has locked this one up. There's no way that Leadpaint's getting through this.
Yeah.
We're going to game 6, boys.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Is there a miracle that can happen? I'm thinking any other outs, but Zalae can navigate this in a way I'm almost positive where he can set up a lethal for next turn. If he Blessing of Kings his Mysterious Challenger and hits face and plays Shield and Minibot, he'll put his opponent to 14. Ooh, maybe not. Is there a way that he can guarantee it over 2 turns?
Yeah, I mean, if your opponent has to point a burn spell one of your minions, that's pretty much guaranteed. I think Zalae's thinking about, is there any reason to ever play the Piloted Shredder? Like, because if Leadpaint kills the Piloted Shredder and gets a Doomsayer, I mean, that's how high of a chance Zalae has to win this game. Is I actually don't even think he's supposed to play the Piloted Shredder here. 14, 15, 16. Yeah.
It's not enough, but it also, by trading in, he eliminates Chargers. So he could have just gone face. He has Noble Sacrifice still up, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So if he just went face with that 7 damage, I think that removes less outs.
Yeah, there we go. Game 6, Zalae is up 3 games to 2. Zalae kind of looks a little bit frustrated with his play there too, but I think it's right. I don't think you're supposed to play. I don't think you're supposed to play the Piloted Shredder, and I think what he was thinking about the alternative was just trading into 3/3, loading up on the Mysterious Challenger, and attacking for 11. That was the alternative, I think, that turn. But either way, it's pretty much impossible for Leadpaint to climb out of that situation.
Yeah, I definitely